Hello everyone, I am Ms. Divya Verma, Faculty of Social Science, Class 7th, Mount Literacy School, Jhansi. Students, in the last two video lectures, we had talked about some parts of lesson number 2 of history, that is, new kings and kingdoms. In that, we had seen how some kingdoms emerged like Rashtrakutas, Gurjarapatiharas, Palas, and many more, how they expanded their area. Now, in which we had seen one more thing, that is warfare for wealth, how people fought for the warfare for wealth. First example of this we have seen about three dynasties who wanted to control Kannauj, that is known as tripartite struggle. Then we have talked about Sultan Mahmud of Ghazni, then Chahamanas, they all wanted to invade India for wealth. Then Muhammad Ghori of Ghur, they all wanted to expand the area just for wealth. Now, let us talk in this session about the Cholas, Chola dynasty or the Chola kingdom of the south. So, let us take a closer look at Chola Empire, its temple, culture, sculptures, administration, etc. Now we proceeding further, let's have a look at the map here. Can you see river Kaveri and its delta here in the south? Can you see Thanjavur and Urayur, the two important towns here? Okay, now let's see who were the Cholas. They were not king before. Actually, before time, they were subordinates to Pallavas, the Pallava dynasty. Pallavas were a ruling dynasty in south of Kanchipura, and Cholas were just subordinate to Pallavas at that time. And Cholas used to hold power in the town Urayur just like a Samant, that is subordinate. And similar to Cholas, on the other side, there were Muttarayars who used to hold power in the region of Kaveri Delta, but the main dynasty of that area was Pallava dynasty. Then sometime later, a Chola's chief Vijayalaya captured the delta, that is the Kaveri Delta, from the Muttarayars in the mid of the 9th century. Then he built the town of Thanjavur and a temple of goddess Nisambusudhini, and gradually from smaller kingdom Cholas built a huge empire. Then the successor of Vijayalaya conquered neighboring regions also. This way kingdom grew in size and power, and the Pandyas, Pallavas territory to the of the north and south were made part of this kingdom. Now here Rajaraja I was considered the most powerful Chola ruler who became king in 985 and expanded control over most of these areas. He reorganized the administration of the empire. Then Rajaraja's son Rajendra Chola continued his policies and even raided the Ganga Valley, Sri Lanka and countries of Southeast Asia, and he had even developed a huge armies also. Then now let us talk about how the splendid temples of Cholas and its bronze sculpture. Now, as Cholas were also famous by their famous temples, this way the rulers Rajaraja and Rajendra built big temples of Thanjavur and Gangaikonda Cholapuram. Now, as these temples grew so much, the people used to visit there too much, and these also became the center of craft production like bronze images. These temples were endowed with land by rulers and the kings also. That is, the temples received huge land endowments by the rulers, and these lands were used for cultivation and some works, and whatever they used to earn from these land gifted by the kings were used for maintaining the specialists who worked at the temple and often lived near it, like priests, garland maker, cooks, sweepers, magicians, and many more. They used to see by their money. Now, we can say that this way, temples were not only the place of worship, but they were the hub of economic, social, cultural life as well. Now, here amongst the craft, here were making of bronze images, which were most distinctive and one of the finest in the world. These bronze images were were of deities and devotees as well. Now let us talk about how Chola rulers improved agriculture. Now for agriculture, the two main things which is important is land and water. Cholas first clear forest areas to bring more land under cultivation. Then for irrigation, wells were dug, canals were built, tanks were constructed to collect rainwater, embankments were constructed to prevent flooding. Then Kaveri river also provided water for irrigation and fertile soil. Then sluice gates were used during Chola time period. Sluice gates is traditionally a wood or metal barrier which is commonly used to control water levels and flow rates in rivers and canals. Now let us talk about administration of the Chola Empire. Here, let us see some terms first, like URR, that is settlement of peasants. Peasants used to work on the land and pay taxes to the landlords. So there were many peasant communities. That group who used to look over these settlements were called as Next is Nadu. Nadu, these groups of peasants of such villages collectively, these villages formed a larger unit called as Nadu. Now next is Velala, that is a caste of rich peasants. They exercise control over the affairs of these Nadu under the supervision of central Chola government. Now these were such division of the Chola administration. Now we have talked about Brahmins who used to receive land grants from the kings. These land grants in Cholas known as Brahmadeya, and these gifts of land were recorded on the copper plates. So Chola states were centralized bureaucratized monarchy which has also maintained large army. Now every Chola village was divided into two groups, that is Brahmins and non-Brahmins. The assembly of Brahmins were called as Sabha, assembly of non-Brahmins were called as Naru, and local peasants were Association of these traders were known as Nagarang, who performed administration function in town. Now Sabha group, that is who looked after the Brahmins community, were also looked after the irrigation work, temple, charity, etc. These members of Sabha community were elected through a lucky draw, that is there in Cholas, and candidate for these contest election for such post only if they had they had their own land, own homes, aged between 35 to 70 years, and were versed in Vedas and administration manners, and were honest also. So this was all about the Cholas. So here we had talked about many things like bronze images, the administration, the Chola Empire. So now the chapter New Kings and Kingdoms ends here. Your homework is to go through the chapter session again, all the lectures of this chapter, recall the main points, and visit the website of NCERT books and the learning app provided to you all. Thank you so much.